Hey, it's quiet. We're talking JPEG Mafia today. His latest release, to be exact. It's titled, I Lay Down My Life For You. I'm not gonna act like I haven't already listened to the album as I write this intro like I usually do. I'm just gonna tell you straight up, it's damn good. JPEG Mafia is a rapper, producer, extraordinaire, and is one of my favorite artists in the underground hip-hop scene. Underground and experimental hip-hop scene. He could probably rap over someone using a blender and it would sound fire. He's that kind of artist. On his last project, Scaring the Hoes with Danny Browns, he killed it, and I reviewed it. Watch that video. And as I mentioned before, this one is good too. Here are my thoughts. The opener to I Lay Down My Life introduces us to a common trend on the album. Rock-based production. Okay, so the name of the opener is I Scream This in the Mirror Before I Interact With Anyone. I'm not going to be saying that. I don't know if the riffing on the opening track is a real guitar, but it certainly sounds like a real guitar and it kicks ass. You can say that about pretty much every guitar passage on this album. It kicks ass and it's sounds real as hell. This album really is Peggy's most electric guitar influenced record that he has put out to date. It has a serious rock side, but it still feels like experimental hip hop. And no, it doesn't really sound like nu metal or trap metal or rap metal or anything like that. He's fusing those two genres in his own way. The sampling, as expected from a JPEG Mafia album, is amazing. Especially on the song It's Dark and Hell Is Hot. That shit slaps. I love the Latin feel to that song. I have no idea what's being said on the vocal sample, but it slaps. It slaps nonetheless. Also, gotta love how the title of the song is a reference to that one DMX album I listened to like twice and completely hated. I want to listen to it again because now I like DMX's music. Who needs a Future sample when you can just sample him? That's exactly what Peggy does on New Black History. At least I think that's what he does. It works pretty well. The audio quality of the sample sounds pretty choppy, but I can forgive it. The outro on New Black History should have been rapped on in my opinion. I can't get over how mad JPEG sounds on I Hear You Went Down. You can tell he's rapping the truth on this one. One of the best lyrical songs on the album, to be honest. On the song, he pretty much responds to all the haters who criticized him for working with Kanye West, which is a base song idea from a lyrical standpoint. Vulgar Display of Power is so badass, it has some super heavy rock guitars, and the chorus puts some hair on your chest, man. And the title is so fitting. Vulgar Display of Power is like Pantera's heaviest album. I always thought JPEG hated Pantera based off of that one line from All Caps No Spaces on his first album. Shit takes me back. Ex-Military is very dynamic. It goes from being a reggae song to like a heavy metal song, and it actually works quite well. If someone says JPEG can't produce, show them this song. They'd probably think you're weird, but show them this song. And no, it doesn't sound like a Death Grip song. Badass title name though. JPEG Mafia using the term terminally online on the song Jihad Joe makes too much sense. It makes a lot of sense he refers to himself that way. He's got JPEG in his rapper name after all. In terms of features on this album, Denzel sold the show on the song JPEG Ultra. This dude rapped his ass off in the most clever ways, and then JPEG did the same. And there was a crazy ass beat change. You know how much I love beat changes. You gotta love that jazz rap mixed with acoustic guitar. I'm usually off drugs when I listen to music, but I did at one point listen to music while I was on drugs. Weed was my drug of choice. Yeah, this has nothing to do with the song either on or off drugs. I just wanted to say that. I do really like how Peggy references each album he's made on that one verse. Loop It and Leave It is like the worst song on the album, but I would still rather listen to that song than any song on All Is Yellow. The instrumental outro was cool on that song though. Buzzy Lee has like a seriously angelic voice. I'm pretty sure she's collaborated with JPEG before. Her voice sounds familiar. Don't Put Anything on the Bible is very much the prettiest song on the album. Very easy on the ears. I Recovered From This is also insanely pretty. I'm glad he left those two songs for the end of his album instead of awkwardly putting them in between two heavy bangers. The song is also a great closer to an epic album. My one question is that really a Janet Jackson sample? It doesn't sound like her. I do know JPEG likes to recite the lyrics of samples he can't clear. So maybe it's one of those situations where he found a female vocalist to recite Janet Jackson's vocals. So this album is great, as expected from an album by JPEGMAFIA. It's better than LP and All My Heroes Are Cornballs, but it's not as good as Veteran, Black Ben Carson, or even Scaring the Hoes. This album grew on me quite a bit. There was a few moments I just didn't get on my first listen and just sounded okay. The second half was kind of rough for me, for example, but that's not the case anymore. This album is an 8.7 out of 10 experience for me. JPEGMAFIA is 6 albums in. He hasn't run out of ideas yet, and he still somehow amazes me every time. And that's the review. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and catch me next time. I might do like a video game review next time. I don't know yet.